bum 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 bum. Hello, welcome to my obligatory Halloween video. Alright, that's enough of that. I don't think I could talk like that for a whole video. Who wants to make a ghost? I've got 3 different ways to make a ghost based on different ways that ghosts have appeared in movies and TV, and I'm gonna show you how to do each of them yourselves. You've got your transparent ghosts, like the one you see in Star Wars or in Disney's Haunted Mansion, or that kind of more cartoony thing. You've got your invisible ghosts. Those are the ones that are just moving stuff around. You'll usually see these ones in horror movies or things that are like really trying to be scary. You'll see this in the things that are trying to have realistic depictions of ghosts. And you've got my personal favorite, the classic sheet ghost, which is pretty self-explanatory. So come with me and let's make some spooky specters. Here are time codes for each of the individual ghosts in case you want to skip forward to any specific effect. Got it? Good, let's go. Beginning with the easiest of the 3 ghosts, and by far the least time consuming, we've got the transparent ghost. There are a couple ways to do this effect, but I'm going to show you the absolute easiest. For this one, you're going to need your camera locked off on a tripod, or if you want a moving shot, then you'll need a motorized rig that can perfectly repeat camera movements, but since I'm assuming that most of you don't have that, let's stick with the tripod. Make sure you get a clean plate of your shot, which means getting the shot completely empty and having at least a few seconds of empty space. 30 to 60 seconds is good to be safe. Then, without moving the camera at all, film your actor in the shot doing whatever it is they need to do. Once you have those 2 shots, take your footage into your editing software. In my case, I'm using Adobe Premiere. Put your clean plate on the timeline and put your actor shot on top of it. Select the top shot and using effect controls, lower the opacity to however transparent you want your ghost to be. Then you're pretty much done. Like I said, this is a super easy effect. For more complex situations, like if you want other actors in the shot or if you want your ghost to interact with objects in the scene, then there are other ways to do this which involve rotoscoping your actor or shooting them on a green screen, but for the interest of time, we're gonna move on. Let me know in the comments if you want more details on those techniques and I'd be happy to explain them to you. The next technique we're gonna cover is the invisible ghost. This one, even more than the last one, has a lot of different techniques you can use depending on what you need the ghost to be doing. And if you want to see cool ways that people have done this, look up behind the scenes for the 2020 film The Invisible Man. For this example, I'm just going to show you the easiest technique for if you want your ghost interacting with the objects in the scene. For this one, you also need a locked off shot. In fact, spoiler alert, all these effects require a locked off shot or a perfectly repeatable camera movement. Now, let's say I want my ghost to pick up this I don't know, what's something the ghosts usually pick up? How about this mug? Let's say the ghost wants to pick up this mug. The bigger the object, the easier this effect is, but in order to show you a slightly more difficult version of the effect, we'll use this mug. The way this effect works is by picking up the object from the back where the camera can't see the point of contact, and since there's no way to just grab the mug without your hands being seen, we need to get more creative, and in this case that means taping our mug to the end of this broom handle, like so. Now you first need to get the clean plate of your shot. You'll hear that term a lot in VFX, so get used to it. And then you bring in your mug with whoever is controlling it. Have them position themselves so the contact point where the broom is taped to the mug is not visible to the camera. Then go through the motions. Have your actor lift up the mug, do their thing, etc. Now take that footage into your editing software, put the clean plate on the bottom, main shot on top. Now, the time-consuming part, you need to create a mask around your object. If you're in Premiere, you can do that by going to Effect Controls, Opacity, and clicking on the little pen tool icon. Then use keyframes to animate that mask to follow the mug for as long as your shot is. And if half of those words were nonsense to you, then go look up Premiere Mask Tutorial on YouTube and you'll find someone who will explain it better than I can here. For the best results, you could spend a lot of time perfectly outlining every bit of the mug like this, but this takes a very long time, so if you want to save yourself some time, all you really need is to make sure that the pole holding the mug stays cut off. So in this case, that meant I could just have the mask follow this edge of the cup. It won't look as good at the end, like you can see the square where my mask is since the lighting changed slightly, but for most people's purposes, like a YouTube tutorial video for example, it takes a lot less time. Finally, let's make that classic ghost in a sheet look that everybody loves. I think you know the drill by now. You're gonna need a clean plate of your shot. Once you have that, have your actor come into the shot wearing a white sheet or whatever sheet you want your ghost to look like. It doesn't particularly matter what they wear under the costume, although I would recommend avoiding anything white because that would make it very difficult to separate the ghost sheet from the actor later. Once you have that footage, bring it onto the timeline. Ghost on top, clean slate on the bottom, you get it. Now, much like with the mug, we're going to cut out the ghost sheet, but unlike the mug, this sheet moves around a lot, and while it's certainly not impossible, it would take a very long time to use masks the same way we did with the other shot, so I'm going to show you another, faster way of rotoscoping. Bring your shot into After Effects by right-clicking and pressing Replace with After Effects Composition. This will open up your shot in Adobe After Effects, assuming you have it installed on your computer. Click on this icon to open the roto brush, then double-click on your shot that you want to edit. I could explain this whole process much more, but it would quadruple the runtime of this video, so if you're interested, then go search up After Effects roto brush tutorial. It's a very cool tool. You'll want it for other stuff. That's hard to say. Say cool tool 10 times fast. Cool tool, cool tool, cool tool, cool tool, cool tool, cool. I give up. With the roto brush, you'll be able to more easily cut out the cloth sheet of the ghost with the computer doing most of the work for you. Command or Control S to save your document. Once you have that properly cut out, then return to Premiere and you'll see that you now have a floating ghost sheet in your scene. Congratulations! That's all for now. Do try this at home and have a happy Halloween, unless you're watching this at literally any other day of the year, in which case, don't do that. Ciao!